Okay, so when you picture Australia, what's the first thing that pops into your head? I'm gonna guess it's golden beaches, maybe some kangaroos hopping around the outback, and a sun that just never quits, right? That's the postcard. But what if I told you that postcard is missing a pretty big piece of the puzzle? Let's find out just how different the reality really is.
So here's a statement you hear versions of all the time. You see it in movies, in travel ads, it's everywhere. The idea that Australia is just this one big, endless summer, a place where your only weather problem is remembering to put on enough sunscreen. It's a simple, powerful image. But is it actually true?
Yeah, exactly. Is that the whole story? I mean, we're talking about a massive continent here. Can the climate really be that simple? You know what? Let's put this idea under the microscope and see what we can find.
All right, so first up, let's tackle that whole always sunny claim. And this brings us to the most important idea of all. Australia is a land of incredible contrasts.
The first thing you've got to wrap your head around is the sheer scale of the place. Australia isn't just some big island. It's an entire continent, and its immense size is the absolute key to understanding its climate. You just can't paint the whole country with a single weather brush.
And this is where the picture really starts to get interesting. You can basically think of Australia as having two totally different climate personalities. Up north, it's tropical. We're talking hot, sunny, and humid pretty much all year round. But then you head south, and it's like a whole different country. You're in a temperate zone with 4 distinct seasons, chilly winters, and yeah, even snow-capped mountains.
Okay, so the always sunny idea is already starting to look a little shaky. But that little mention of snow, that's the part that really makes people go, wait, what? So let's dive right into that, because snow in Australia, oh, it's definitely a thing.
I mean, a kangaroo in the snow. This looks like something somebody cooked up on a computer, doesn't it? But it is a 100% genuine Australian scene. The idea that Australia is a snow-free zone is completely, totally a myth.
And we're not talking about some freak dusting on a random hill once a decade. Every single winter, real, reliable snowfall blankets entire regions. You can find actual ski resorts in Victoria, winter wonderlands down in Tasmania, and, well, there's a mountain range literally called the Snowy Mountains. Kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
This brings us back to that kind of strange line from the myth, right? Not snow even at night. It really highlights a common mix-up. See, snow doesn't care if the sun is up or down. All it needs are 2 simple ingredients: moisture in the air and temperatures at or below freezing.
It's a really simple recipe. First ingredient, it's got to be cold, below freezing. Second ingredient, you need moisture falling from the sky. Now sure, nighttime often helps because the temperature drops, but it's not actually a required ingredient. When those 2 main conditions meet, boom, you get snow. It's really that simple.
So, this begs a pretty obvious question. If Australia has cold weather and snow, why on earth does it have this relentlessly sunny reputation? Let's get into why that perception is so incredibly strong.
What created this powerful, worldwide idea? Why is it that when we think of Australia, we picture hot deserts and sunny beaches instead of, say, ski slopes?
Well, here's your answer, and it really just comes down to simple proportions. The truth is, the vast, vast majority of Australia is made up of those warm, dry, or tropical regions. The cool, snowy parts, they are absolutely real, but they're just a tiny little slice of the whole continent.
So, let's break it down. The myth gets its power from a few key facts. The continent is dominated by huge deserts and tropical zones. The whole northern part is near the equator, so it's almost always warm. And the massive interior, it's just too dry and hot for snow. On top of all that, most Australians live along the milder coastlines, so for the average person there, snow is something you travel to see, not something that happens in your own backyard.
So, with all that in mind, what's the final verdict? Let's put all the pieces together and get the real clear picture of Australia's surprisingly diverse climate. So here's the bottom line. No, it is not always sunny. But yes, most of the country is warm and dry, and that's exactly where the reputation comes from. But snow is a real, yearly event in very specific mountains in the south. And remember, nighttime just means it's dark. Whether it snows or not is all about the temperature and the elevation. You know, Australia's climate is a fantastic reminder about how easily a big, complex reality can get boiled down into a simple and pretty incomplete story. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other places do we think we know that might have some surprising truths hiding just under the surface?